All right, Shalom.
Shalom.
It's your brother Ibad from GMS Yahweh Ibad with the brother.
Kwame Ashala.
And we also come from GMS St. Petersburg, Florida. We come in the spirit and power of
Hawa,
Yahweh,
Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah, Kodash.
Yat. Double honor side elder apostles, great millstone. Also singing honor salutation to all your sincere Akim, pushing this word, truth and sincerity, bringing forth the prophecies of the Bible, and also peace and blessings to the 1/3. And basically, coming in the spirit, you got to understand that there are roles in this thing of doing the ministry. When you're thinking about Yahweh Shai and what Paul said in 1 Corinthians, the 11th chapter, matter of fact, can you give me 1 Corinthians 11th chapter, verse I think it's 3, if I'm not mistaken.
1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 3. Mm-hmm. Every man praying or prophesying.
Salakia.
Verse 12. Chapter 12.
No, go back. I said 3.
Okay. 1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 3. But I would have you know that the head of every man is Hamashiach.
So the head of every man is who?
Hamashiach, Yahweh Shai.
Yahweh Shai, go ahead.
Okay. And the head of the woman is the man.
And the head of the woman is the man. Now who's the head of Yahweh Shai?
Yahweh.
What does it say that?
The next.
Come, spirit, go ahead.
Come. And the head of Hamashiach is Yahweh.
Come, and the head of Hamashiach is Yahweh. So now they go to show that there's an order. You have the Heavenly Father Yahweh, His Son who? Yahweh Shai, and then you also have who? What? The Son of Man. And it goes to tell you that the head of woman is who?
The man of the Lord.
What is? Can you prove it?
Come. It says the head of the woman is the man.
What are you reading?
1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 3.
Mm-hmm.
But I will have you know that the head of every man is Hamashiach, and the head of the woman is the man.
Right, and the head of the woman is the man. So that's ranking. So now we talking about spiritual warfare. You have to understand that you're gonna always have the 4-star general. You're gonna have the captains and lieutenants and everything. But when you come to the ministry, you got to think about the same aspect. All right, you have some people who are helps, some people who are teachers, some people who prophesy. But at the very same time, though, understand that everybody is not strong in being offensive. Everybody not strong in being defensive. All right, you really had to think about the attributes and the ways of playing. Whenever you inside a battalion, it's like your camp. You have one person that's infantry. He runs in with the assault rifle, throwing grenades and everything. Then you have somebody who's a medic. I need a medic. That's somebody who helps heal you if you get hurt, if you're injured, like an herbalist in the camp. You have the healers also. It speaks about. Matter of fact, you can go to on the 12th, 1 Corinthians 12.
1 Corinthians 12.
Yeah, come. 1 Corinthians 12. Right, yeah. So now with that being said, then you have people who are also snipers. That's off in the distance, and they see the target from afar. Then you have people that's in the headquarters, the ones who tell 4-star generals, the ones who has their lineage there, that has their longevity. Shalom, Yahweh Shema Shabbat Shema Chakadash Barakatah. All right, that's the brother Kalakala. And then you also have the people who are given orders that you won't even see. That's the same thing. That's the same thing here with the ministry here. It's certain role that everybody plays, man. You have people that's always going into the history, like the Elder Malcolm. You have people that are always going into like high exhortations. I think about this brother right here and the brother from GMS Behold I Come Quickly, and the brothers from down there GMS Life Lessons. Elder Yashawamba. Then you have the infantry out there. That's the elders, man. That's the head, man. They running the whole thing. Like King David. Even the King David old days, King David wanted to go out and fight with the men. What they said, hey David, man, hold on, just go back. But in this war, it's spiritual warfare. What it says, he that endureth to the end shall be saved, man. So it's not anything about being carnal. All right? It's all about being more spiritual. Because the weapons that we use, matter of fact, through the spirit, just drop that. Yeah, go to 2 Corinthians 10 and 3, Bible Kashab. Because our spiritual warfare is not the same warfare as man. Our spiritual warfare is a warfare that's going to come from above. That's why Yahweh Shai said, what? I shall not meet thee as a man. So Yahweh Shai come back. When you read 2 Esdras, the 13th chapter, talking about fire coming out of his hand, out of his mouth. Yo, that's talking about powers that man can't even make or create. You get that from me?
God. 2 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 4. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal.
The weapons of our warfare are not carnal. So what's carnal weapons?
Shit, a gun, a 9mm.
a 9mm, a grenade launcher, army tank, a jet fighter, a B-52 bomber, things like that. Read it one more time, Baba.
2 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 4. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal.
So the weapons of our warfare are not carnal. Now, I'm going to bring this out. Ephesians chapter 6, verse, I'm going to start at 9. No, I'm going to start at 10. Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of God, the Most High, Yahweh, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. Verse 12. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Because when you're thinking about the principalities, principles, the principal thing is like it goes back to a law. Like the principal thing is like what? Love Yahweh Shem Yahushua with all your heart, and then love like so that's the principal thing in this ministry. And under that holds the whole law. So us fighting against the principal things of this wicked society, it goes against what? Homosexuality. Thinking that you can have sex with another man. And you have sex with another man. On top of that, you feel like you take power from him. That's sorcery. That's wickedness. That's what Esau used to do to our people, man. It's all mental. It's all mental that we're going through right now, that we're going to go through in that day. That's why the scripture says, knowledge and wisdom shall be the stability of our time. And that's go back to the spirit. Because the words of this Bible is what's going to bring us stability, not that 9mm. That's why our spiritual warfare is not with the carnal warfare. Because the little carnal mind is what? Death. And then the scripture says, cursed be the man that make his strength his arm and put his trust in man. You go and get you a Glock, go get you a bulletproof vest and grenades, you put your trust in man. You're not dealing with that. So the role in the order of things that we're doing right now, everybody just has to play their role. Whatever you are best at in this ministry, you do it to the best of your ability. And you just remain into that. You have to stay humble, you have to stay meek, you have to stay merciful towards brother. Sincere. And always remember that Yahweh Shai, he was not even 3 times he cried to the Heavenly Father. I can't get over that. 3 times he cried to the Heavenly Father to pass his cup. He still had to drink that cup. So how can I not forgive my brother like my brother should forgive me? That's also spiritual warfare. You go out there in the war, you're gonna be bickering, arguing, and fighting. But guess what? Who's the enemy? The enemy's out there. Those that's against us. You understand? Read it one more time, Baba.
I think the brother put up a precept.
2 Kings 6:16. And he answered, fear not, for they get it. Baba Gashar?
2 Kings
16, Baba Gashar. So look. 6 and 16. I believe that's what it was, to the spirit. You got it? I get it. You got it.
You can grab it.
I got it. This is 2 Kings 6 and 16. This is 2 Kings 6 and 16, right? If that's what it is. I'm here. And he answered, fear not, for they that be with us are more than they that be with them. Now that's spiritual. Now that's beautiful. So it said the more that be with us are more that be with them. Now that goes back to what happened. What goes back to because this was Elijah. Yeah, not Elijah, Elisha's servant. He saw the host of the army coming towards them. Those who trusted in woe to them who trust in Egypt, they go down there, they trust in their chariots. So they had the horsemen. They wasn't Egyptian, but I'm just saying like they were heathens. So they had the horsemen. They was coming down. And Elijah's servant was like, there be many more of them than there are of us. And he said, hey, Yahweh, please open my servant's eye. I buy his eye, whatever the case may be, so that he can see. And then he's looked over the mountain and saw all the hosts. Matter of fact, a brother just put up a video, man, about a fleet of chariots over Mexico. Where Issachar's at, man. There be many more of them that there be. And listen, even one angel can destroy the whole earth. That's a whole fleet, man. And what Yahweh Shai said during the time when Judas Iscariot came up and kissed him. Matter of fact, Yahweh Shai even played it off to plan them. Like, where have you been? He went up and kissed them. They came and grabbed Yahweh Shai. Then shoot, cut that ear off. He said, Yahweh Shai said, hey, he that live by the sword shall die by the sword. He said, think you not, I can call to my father the way he said.
12 legions.
12 legions. A legion is like 6,000-7,000. So multiply that by 12. That's 72,000 angels. Or you think what it says in Psalm
68.
Exactly. It said there are thousands of thousands upon them, man. We're in the spiritual warfare, man. So it's all up here in the mental. And it all goes back to faith.
That's right.
Faith is something that you can't be taught inside these schools, man. Right. You have to be called. You have to be ordained. Why he said, you have not chosen me. I have chosen you. It's a certain spirit that's inside of you, regardless of whatever the path you have gone to. Matter of fact, think about these movies these days, man. It's always somebody just the bottom of the barrel, just like regular everyday Joe. Like these cats that go into these armies. They be young kids like Full Metal Jacket, if you ever saw it. They be young kids coming out of high school, 18, 19 years old, still teenagers going over to fight like in Vietnam or something like that. And guess what? You can't call your mom to come pick you up because you downtown locked up. No, you either fight or die. Same thing inside this. Fight for the truth until death. It's the same thing we going through, man. It's just a spiritual warfare. You have to build an inner man because this man gonna die every day, but that spirit's gonna live on forever. So you have to be more spiritual, you know. And that's the beautiful thing about this ministry, man. Niggas out here in the world really trusting these guns and these gats. You don't even have the manufacturer company to produce these weapons, man. Esau make them. So you don't think they got weapons that are trump what you got right now? Real talk. Hey, give whatever you got.
This is Joel chapter 2, verse 11. And the Lord Yahweh, Hashem Yahushai, shall utter his voice before his army.
Against who?
Slock, say it again, up.
Read it again.
Joel chapter 2, verse 11. And the Lord Yahweh, Hashem Yahushai, shall utter his voice before his army.
Right, so you're going to utter his voice before his army. Now that goes back to being this spiritual warfare, man. There are different aspects of it. So everybody has to play their role accordingly because we all are different members of the body. All right? Go ahead, up.
For his camp is very great, for he is strong that executed his word.
He said his camp is very great. Why do you think it says that the elder be always say, okay, we got here at camp. Make sure y'all go to camp. Because this is a spiritual army. It's spiritual warfare, man. Not every warfare has to be with blood, with guts and bodies being lost. You can also have economic warfare. It's called sanctions, man. This warfare is spiritual, something that's not tangible. You can have $500 in your bank account. They can hit a button. All that's gone. But your faith and your spirit, they can't take that from you. That's why I said, fear not man that can destroy flesh and blood, but fear him that can destroy flesh and blood and spirit in hell, if I'm not mistaken. Roughly paraphrase. That's the same warfare that we're living in right now. Go ahead, up.
For the day of the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, is great and very terrible, and who can abide it?
The day's going to be great and very terrible. Who can abide it? That's perfect. Listen, how are you feeling? I'm having a great day. But then I ask somebody else, how you feel? I'm having a terrible day. That's a balance. It's going to be a great day for us. But it's going to be a terrible day for all these heathens out here and 2/3 of our people. That's why it's going to be a great and terrible day. Though it's going to still be terrible for us because we know, hey, what it says in 2 Corinthians? It says, therefore knowing the terrors of the Lord, we persuade men. His terror is going to be very terrifying. But at the same time, it's going to be a great day for those who patiently waited upon him, right? All right? You can't just be a juggernaut physically inside this warfare. You want to be a juggernaut spiritually in the warfare. You know what I'm saying? You always got to let the spirit lead you. You got to always have faith. That's what faith comes in at. Which way should I go, Lord, that day? You've been in corners and everything. Because it could be dudes that you, man, I can follow. No, don't take them. Just let the spirit take you. Hey, the spirit can have you take a life in that day. But it still goes back to what? Knowing the terrors, man. He said your houses shall be rifled, your women shall be ravished. The blood shall be up to the horse's bridle. That's when your house shall come back. But right now, we have to be more spiritual. Because then when we get them spiritual powers, now it's time to get physical. You understand? Spirit, man. Go ahead, up.
You want something?
That was it?
Yes.
All right, I'm going to go into 1 Corinthians chapter 12, verse... Bear with me. 23. I'm sorry, 23. You are brought with a price. Be not ye the servants of men. Brethren, let every man wherein he is called, therein abide with the Most High. Now, can you get me 2 Timothy 2 and 3?
Come.
The Spirit, come, the water.
2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 3. Thou therefore endure hardness as a good soldier.
Thou therefore endure hardness as a good soldier. Going back to the spiritual warfare. Our warfare is not carnal. Our warfare is spiritual. So going right back into what Paul is saying right here, man, be a good soldier. Put up your videos, man. Break bread with the brothers. Be there for a brother if he needs you. Hey, doing the work is under all that, but you know, people think they doing the work. They gotta understand what doing the work is. You know what I'm saying? Cause we putting up videos, right, edifying people, they eating. That's doing the work. You gotta actually put food on the table so they can eat it. All right, and it has to be righteous food, clean food, the bread of life, the living waters, man. Come on, I'm not gonna go to a lake and get water to drink out of. More than likely, if it's a fresh, but you know, people, I'd rather get water from a fallen waterfall. Why? Because it's being purified by those rocks. That's why it's better to get sprinkled. Boom, I can go ahead and get me a cup. That's living waters. Because that water is moving. If you go out to a puddle after it's raining, you're not going to go and take a drink of water from that. You're not. Mosquitoes gonna produce inside of that. Larvae and everything. You want them living waters. All right? People who live out by the country, what they do? When they go take a shower and bathe themselves, they go out to where there's a river or something. And they go out there and get that little bucket, look around so that no bear enough to come up on somebody. Come on. That's living waters, man. That's life to you. Bread, corn and all that. Going back into the old Egyptian times, bread, like heavy stuff like bread and corn, it's bread of life, the living waters, and wine. Wine also knowledge as well, man. But it's all spiritual warfare. You got to eat spiritually because, you know, people like, you know, they like to get big working out. You got to eat spiritually as well, too. And that goes back to these words. That's why in John the 6th chapter, most of his disciples, they had left him because they got offended. Because they thought he was talking about cannibalism, saying you have to eat my flesh, drink my blood. This is like basically saying this is the Passover. They didn't understand it. Because Yahushua was that sacrificial lamb, man. Speaking spiritual in parables is also part of spiritual warfare, man. It's called antics. Finish up on that.
Come. 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 3.
Right.
Thou therefore endure hardness as a good soldier of Yahushua HaMashiach.
Only way you can endure hardness as a good soldier is going to the end. Because the scripture said, he that endureth to the end shall be saved. All right. That's why there's a balance in everything. You can't always be on fire because the spirit going to have you die a little bit. But at the same time, though, you can still do the word. Shalom. Yahweh Shem Yahshua Shem Rechakadash. All right. You can still do the word. You can still preach. That's the whole purpose of us doing our ministry, man. We are on unprofitable servants, but at the very same time, though, we know our reasonable service. What? And knowing that your work shall not be in vain. That's the whole part. That's the whole purpose of it is warfare. Right now, you're struggling right now. I can't pay my bills. Man, Esau keep fucking with me at the job. I got these niggas out, these tutors out here hating on me. This lady cut me off. Every time I come here, he telling lies on me. But you always taking the L, right? Because you ain't thinking physical. Because most niggas, hey, what the? Or they'll shoot, or they'll rob, or they'll do something else, man. Nah, we not a part of that world. Yahushua said that we not even of the world. Matter of fact, can you give me St. John 15 and 18? That's the reason with everybody. We in the spiritual warfare. Hey, when you go outside, sometimes you ain't even want to talk to these niggas, man. Sometimes you ain't even want to see them, man. You be like, y'all still stuck in the world. I mean, come on. Elder Yashawama just did a video about that new Shiggy, that little Shiggy dance. Nigga got hit by a car. He hopped out of the car, did a stupid ass dance and got hit by a car. All scratched up. And guess what he was doing? Laughing. But guess what? How about Shemal Shai gonna laugh at your calamity in that day?
That's right.
This is spiritual warfare and it's finna get carnal, man. No time to be playing bullshit. Go ahead, Bushra.
Come. St. John chapter 15, verse 18. If the world hate you, ye know that it hated me before it hated you.
Go ahead up.
Verse 19. If ye were of the world would love his own.
Right, so we're not of this world, man. Why? Because we think it more spiritually. That's why the Lord said, come out of her, my people. It said it would destroy you with a sword of destruction, utter destruction. That's why we're not a part of this society, man. Of course we gotta eat. Of course we gotta drink. Of course we gotta sleep. We gotta urinate, which y'all call piss. We gotta defecate, which y'all call shit. Okay, we gotta take a shower. Sometimes you gotta cut your hair. You gotta wash your hair. You gotta put lotion on, brush your teeth, whatever. Get the ear out of your, get the earwax out of your ear. Yeah, we still in these filthy flesh, man. This filthy bodies, man. Of course we are. But at the very same time, though, we know that our spirit is not the spirit of everybody else. That's why 1 Corinthians, the 12th chapter, is it 12? 1 Corinthians speaks about the members of the body. We are members of the body of Yahushua. Gotta understand that, you know. So while we deal with these people in everyday life, they're zombies. They dead. Matter of fact, their eyes wide shut, you know. They living, but they're not alive. Go ahead up.
Okay. But I have chosen you out of the world.
Right.
Therefore, the world hated you.
Right. So the world hates you now, man. Now you different. All right, because you're not fighting the same warfare they fighting. That warfare is all about trying to get rights in the society. Their all warfare is about, I want rights for homosexuals and lesbians. Their whole warfare is about, women equality with men and things like that. Their whole warfare is about, women should be able to drive cars in Saudi Arabia. Their whole warfare is about, I want your oil. Their whole warfare is about, we need to legalize pedophilia. Their whole warfare is about trying to demonize the people who go on out preaching the Bible of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, preaching the truth of that. That's their warfare with us too. Everybody's under that warfare. If you're not down with the wickedness of the society, you also are enemy in their carnal warfare, man. That's why you have to be more spiritual. Gotta pray more. All right, brothers gotta fast more. I'm guilty of that too. Okay, but hey, it's no excuse though, because in that day you're gonna have to. All right, in that day you're gonna wish you was praying more. You're gonna wish you was fasting more. Go ahead up.
Okay. Continue on. Verse 20. Okay. Remember the word that I said unto you. The servant is not greater than the Lord.
The servant is not greater than the Lord. All right? Go ahead up.
If they have persecuted me, they will also persecute you.
And he's the good master. According to somebody in Matthew's 19th chapter, I believe he said, "Oh, good master." Because he is the master. We are service to him. Did not Paul say that he was a prisoner to your Yahushua? Even Paul said that. Go ahead up.
If they have kept my saying, they will keep yours also.
Right, so if they're going to keep his saying, they would have kept ours also. But the sayings we speaking of are of the scriptures. Isaiah 8:20, if they speak not according to this word, there is no light in them. And Yahushua, he is the knowledge of light. So with that being said, the words we speaking are his words. That's why he said, if the world hated you, know that it hated me. Because he came in the flesh. That's what I'm saying. Yahushua came in the flesh. Just like he was subject to sin like we were. That's why he said, forgive them for they do not know. He wasn't talking about 2/3. He was talking about those who didn't know, who were like who? Paul. Because Paul was persecuting the church. Paul was killing. But he understood the spiritual warfare. In his mind, he thought he was doing right. But coming to the sense, now he understand. He understand the battle now. No, you're not my enemy. You actually my brother. That's the whole point of the matter, man. Just differences. Put that aside. What is it? Thus saith the Lord. Stay inside that spirit. This the whole basic training. What, running your mile in 7-6 minutes? Drop and give me 50. Oh, that's easy. Doing pull-ups, squats, doing the crawls and everything, wrestling, lifting weights. Okay, that's the basics. Stick with the basics, man.
That's right.
Now, next thing now you're doing pull-ups with weighted dips. Now you're running a mile. You're doing pull-up with weights. You're doing weighted dips. Now you run the mile in 5 minutes. Okay. Now you bench pressing 315. But guess what? It's the same thing in the spirit. So warriors, people who are in the spiritual warfare, they always got to strengthen themselves. How are you going to eat every day and hit the gym, but you're not eating the bread of life and not drinking the living waters. So you're not building up your spirit. That's an imbalance. You can't do that. All right? So every spiritual warfare is always going to be mental. Always going to be spiritual. What they say about football, I think they say football is 80% mental and 20% physical. It's a mental play. I mean, even the dynamics of being up on your player and jamming him, to moving your hip ratio, looking at the pump fake, and then even on the character of the quarterback. All right, can I blitz him from a corner? All I'm saying is that everybody need to understand that it's always about mental, it's always spiritual, man. Think about it. 40 days for fasting. Can you teach somebody to fast for 40 days? No. Can brothers even fast for 3 days a day? Understand? That's all mental, all spiritual. Go ahead up.
Okay. Verse 21. But all these things will they do unto you for my name's sake.
Spiritual warfare. They're going to be carnal towards us. But what we have to be? More spiritual, man. Because we understand. We not wrestle against flesh and blood. But we wrestle against spiritual
darkness.
Spiritual darkness and principalities, man. That sit up in high places. Everybody talk about the Illuminati. Well, guess what? Those are the people that do live. All right, the 13 international bank families, so to say, Jewish international bank families, the Rothschilds, the Bilderbergs, the DuPonts, even the Clintons, the Bushes are in there as well. All right, the Kennedy was up in there too, but they ain't got flow like that. The Oppenheimers, yeah, the Gettys, all of them, man. Go ahead up.
Because they know not him that sent me.
Because they know not Yahweh that sent. That's why, hey, the Heavenly Father said, what he said, you are an apple in my eye. Anyone that touches you touches me. Bro, even if you playing basketball and you going for a rebound, somebody poke you in the eye, boy, for a little, about a good 2-3 minutes, you on the sideline, hey, man, jump in. You can't play with one eye. You know what I'm saying? So imagine what they did to us. Hanging, lynching, burning. Oh, that was physical though, right? But what it did to us, it broke us down mentally and spiritually. The Most High took that spirit from us, man. But even he gave us just a little bit love. That's why we like Hercules. You know, it's mythology. But what happened was, I forgot who it was. One of the villains tried to take all of Hercules' energy from him because he was a god that fell from Earth. I think Hercules is the son of Zeus. I'm just telling you a Disney story. I used to watch this movie. It was back in Disney. And so they tried to take all the energy from him, all his power, spiritual powers, make a mortal man. But what happened was, it was one drop left that they didn't take. And that one little drop was why he was so strong, able to do all this and that. But he was still what they call a demigod. I mean, you're basically a man on earth, but you have powers, but you can still die. You know what I'm saying? Basically, something like that. It's the point you're going to die sooner or later. You know? So that's basically what we are like. The Heavenly Father did that to us, and the spiritually broke us down, but we still have a very small part of our spirituality back, man. Come on, it was like a drink, and we drinking it right now. Matter of fact, through the spirit, matter of fact, pull that real quick, about the shop. I got something real quick. I gotta bring this out. That made me think about something. It's kind of like we drunk this. It's kind of like we drunk that cup. We did drink that cup, and then it was spiritual. Because even David speaks about it. This is Psalms 80:4. It says, "O Lord God of hosts, how long wilt thou be angry against the prayer of thy people? Thou feedest them with the bread of tears, and giveth them tears to drink in great measure. Thou makest us a strife unto our neighbors, and our enemies laugh among themselves. Turn us again, O God of hosts, and cause thy face to shine, and we shall be saved." So the Heavenly Father, we did have to drink that, you know. And then also going back to us having to drink that cup, it was still some left out of the other cup. That's the small part of, you know, the spirituality. Because we want to know why. We are a peculiar people, man. We are royalty. We are in the royal order. That's who we are. We are the sons of the living power. Spiritual beings in physical bodies, man. Think about the names Michael. Michael Jordan, greatest NBA player ever. Mike Tyson, one of the greatest heavyweights ever. Everybody love Mike, okay? Think about Michael Johnson, one of the fastest men ever as well. Michael Jackson, greatest pop star, greatest entertainer ever. But just those names alone, man. Those are archangels, man. Not saying no people are, but that's the name. The name is Michael. You know, Michael, Gabriel, Ariel. The whole point that I'm getting at is just a small portion of that, even show you that who we are. In every aspect. Look at Serena Venus, killing them. Hey, when Serena got pregnant, right? What happened was, this never happened in tennis history. When Serena got pregnant, they when she was going to paternity leave, they changed it. If you take personal time off, regular time off, you drop down in the rankings. They've never done that. But the first time she got pregnant, they changed that up because they wanted her to, man, she was like 300 something, you know, in ranking. She kept playing and playing. She would play somebody who was like 70 something ranking and dusted their ass. So she gonna go right back up into the rankings. But they go to show you that that's who we are, man. We gods, man, on earth. It's a spiritual warfare, but it's gonna get carnal because we in these chains of darkness. That's the battle that you're really going through. It's really the battle against yourself. Go ahead. You got something else?
Oh no, that's it on that.
Hey, can you give me one more scripture? Can you give me Galatians 5:17? Come on.
Galatians chapter 5, verse 17. For the flesh lusteth against the spirit, and the spirit against the flesh.
So your flesh lusts against your spirit against the flesh. Your mind can always be thinking on the Lord, but then your flesh starts to get at you. You may want to go and do something that you ain't got no business doing. Or better yet, it's even folly at that. And then even thinking about stress, thinking about anxiety, thinking about sadness. Yeah, we in these fleshly bodies, but in the kingdom of heaven, we gonna go through any of that.
I don't know.
But we still have that, you know, frustration, you know. You still go through all those things because you're in these chains of darkness. Yeah, good is said against evil. Khan, that's right, brother. Right, that's absolutely right. Khan, that's beautiful. Go ahead up.
Khan. And these things, Slaki, and these are contrary that one to the other, so that ye cannot do the things that ye would.
Right. Go ahead up. I'll break that down.
Khan, hey, like the brother said earlier, right? The flesh, all right, is against the spirit, man. Okay, and what are the things that we want to do as being sons of the living power? Serve Yahweh shot to the best of our ability, you know? But we can't do that because we held down in these chains of darkness, which is his flesh. But yet Yahweh Shai is real soon going to turn the tables back, okay?
Right.
In that time, we coming into very serious times, man. Okay.
Because, hey, Yahweh Shai conquered the flesh by the spirit. You know, even though he suffered in the flesh, his inward man was renewed every day. And sometimes you're gonna have them time when you break in the flesh a little bit. I mean in the spirit, not in the flesh, in the spirit a little bit. Yahweh Shai prays to the Heavenly Father 3 times, man, to pass his cup from him. You know? Now this is Hebrews chapter 4, verse 14. Seeing then that we have a great high priest that is passed into the heavens, Yahweh Shai, the Son of the Most High. That's how you know he's Malak Tazadah. Let us hold fast our profession. For we have not a high priest which cannot be touched with the feeling of our infirmities, but was in all points tempted, like as we are, yet without sin. So Yahweh Shai came in the flesh, but he thought he was fighting a spiritual warfare. What happened in Matthew the 4th chapter? Okay, Yahweh Shai fasted for 4 days and 4 nights. Satan came to him. You know, I can give you all that over there right there. He was like, man, my father made that. Trying to tempt him. Listen, you can have all that. You can do whatever you want. Get it right now. But you know what? He rebuked him. And then after that, guess who came and aided him? Angels came and aided him. That's how heavy the demon came down on him, man. That devil, man. That's, evil, wicked spirit. That's spiritual warfare. All right? I'm going to read the rest of this real quick. It's in Hebrews chapter 4, verse 16. Let us therefore come boldly unto the throne of grace, that we may obtain mercy and find grace to help in time of need. All right? And this is right now is like basically like boot camp. Hey, brother telling you, hey, this is how you do this move, this is how you do that. But we all doing it through what? Video. You know? You're not done enough. I just missed it. I'm gonna watch it. The elder apostle Yariah, if I'm not mistaken, he went through the elder. He was like doing the transit. He was talking about
still work.
Your work is the water. There's still more work done. So it's still keep somewhere that you can fix. You can get yourself right in, man. That's what you call mercy. That's what you call grace from Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, man. All right. In the spiritual warfare, you gotta take advantage of everything, man. Hey, get your speed up. You know, boom, go run that treadmill. You know, all right. You know what? Matter of fact, you able to move more weight. Okay, so now you know a few more scriptures or whatever. It's not really all about how many you know or what you know, but it's all about knowing how the spirit flows with it. Because the scripture says precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little and there a little. So for all you hopscotch Hebrew Israelite little jokesters out there, that's how you're supposed to read the Bible.
That's right.
Because if you're gonna break out John 3:16, well, I need you to give me at least 2 or 3 more verses to go with that. If you can't, the Lord ain't dealing with you. You know, so you mean basically get your arsenal up, get your mind right, man. Because in that day, it's gonna be precepts that me and this brother, we have spiritual conversations. You know, and, hey, the other brother in the camp, Hanakla, we have spiritual conversations. Hey, we always talk in your window, but we always throw a scripture in there somewhere. And we always refer back. It's always something back, even in our folly. That's why Paul said, bear with me with my folly, man. Even in my folly, it's nothing matters because we always gonna be in the spiritual conversation. Right. That's right. And then you know what? Even that little folly talk can turn to something so spiritual you're gonna do in the video. Because the spirit is, exactly. That's how the spirit roll, man. So understand, man. There's always gonna be a role in the spiritual warfare. Okay, and through the spirit and prayer, about Shema Shai, he keeps giving you whatever the spirit you have for you to increase inside this body, man, so that we can make it up out of here with a whole new body. All right. So we can be gods again on earth. All right, and princesses, so to say, you women out there. Okay? So with that being said, we're going to give all honor, glory, and praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah, Kodash. Double honor to the elder apostle, great millstone. Peace and blessings. All you sincere men, women, children out there 1/3, and sing honors and citation to all you sincere brothers. All right, because pushing the word into the sincerity. All right, shalom.
Shalom.